Hey, Webby Trades! I want to do a video analysis update of the stock market. We'll talk about big tech like Apple, as well as the Nasdaq and Microsoft. We'll talk about Nvidia and AMD, the S&P 500, as well as the airline ETF jets. We'll talk about Boeing, Draftkings, and Disney. We'll talk about First Solar, as well as Tesla and Enphase Energy. We'll talk about the Solar ETF TAN, as well as the ARC ETF. We'll talk about NEO, Xpeng, Acromoto, and Plug Power. We'll talk about TWLO, Palantir, and Fastly. We'll talk about Bitcoin, Riot Blockchain, Ripple, and Ethereum. Apple forms a wave 1 and a wave 2, so it's within a large wave 3. That's going to take it to the 161.8% extension of wave 1, which is 171. So that's black wave 3 is subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. This is wave 1 of wave 3 and wave 2 of wave 3, wave 3 of wave 3, and wave 4 of wave 3 retest the wave 1 high. So Apple's going to hold above 135 to 138. It's going to go on a wave 5 that will be the length of wave 3, place of the wave 4 low. In the coming weeks, certainly the coming months, we'll see Apple go on a wave 5 to 170, 172, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to complete this large wave 3. We'll have a shallow wave 4 correction and then go on a wave 5 higher. This should be at least the length of wave 1, place of the wave 4 low. Ultimately, waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, should take Apple all the way, to 200, later into 2022. Let's look at the Nasdaq right now. It forms a wave 1. It has an ABC correction and puts in a wave 2. I believe it's within a large wave 3, or it ended a large wave 3 that went past the 161.8% extension of wave 1. So that really confirms this is certainly an impulse structure. That's why we were looking for a corrective structure where the length of wave A, place of the wave B high, is where wave C ended right before the 50% retracement. So we had a wave 4 that retested the wave 1 high. So wave 5 will be at least the length of wave 1, place of the wave 4 low. So that was going to take the Nasdaq to 395. Here's the thing. Microsoft and a lot of charts are kind of showing that we're going to go a lot further than 395. Microsoft has already passed the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. So we'll look at that next. I think for the Nasdaq, this is a wave 5 that's going to go a lot further than 395. It's going to be the length of wave 3, placed at the wave 4 low. And this wave 5 is going to go all the way to 416. This whole rally, is basically during the summer. I think it's going to get replicated this winter, where we're going to wake up, a little after Christmas, in the beginning of the first quarter, certainly, and see that the Nasdaq has reached 416. So this could be wave 1 of wave 5 in progress right now. It's pretty silly to game, a small degree correction like this. But if there were, we have a wave 1 of wave 5 and a wave 2 of wave 5 to ride waves 3, 4, and 5 of wave 5 to the upside. It's important to note, my subscribers hypothetically are in the driver's seat, okay? It's not like this is the first time, right, that we've thought the Nasdaq was going to go up. We were bullish here, we were bullish here, we were bullish here, right? We were bullish here. What's probably going to happen is that this is a wave 5 in progress. This is wave 1 of wave 5. We'll have a little bit more of a blow off top in wave 1, have a wave 2 correction where all the bears say we topped, right? They're going to say we got too greedy, right? But it's them who are getting greedy, trading against the correction, because that's going to be a wave 2. We'll have a huge wave 3, 4, and 5 to the upside. So I'll do my best, but I don't think it's best to kind of game wave 2. I think what's important right now is that we got a lot of evidence. QQQ is going to 416, and a lot of evidence that SPY is going to 500. So that's kind of the lead. If you can read between the lines, I'll talk to you. But this is Microsoft. It forms a wave 1 and a wave 2, has a huge wave 3, and goes past the 161.8% extension of wave 1. So this is clearly a wave 3. We had an ABC correction that ended wave 4 at the 38.2% retracement. I believe we're within a wave 5 right now. Wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low, has been passed. So wave 5 is not going to be the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. Wave 5 is going to be the length of wave 3, at least placed at the wave 4 low. And it could go past that, to be honest, but let's be conservative. If this is the wave 5 in progress, then this is probably wave 1 of wave 5. And all you can really do, if you're just looking at the Microsoft chart, we've reached the wave 5 target that I had. So all you can really do, is hope for a wave 2 to ride waves 3, 4, and 5 to the upside. But what's important to understand, if we're really calling this a wave 1, then wave 3 is going to be even bigger than wave 1, because remember, we used the 161.8% extension of wave 1 to find the wave 3 target. So if that really is wave 1, Microsoft is going off the chart. It's going to go past 345, right? So kind of the big message, especially when we look at the clean energy stocks as well, is that there's going to be music playing in the market until SPY reaches 500, to be quite honest. And Microsoft has a lot of evidence of that. Nvidia going to 300 you're going to look silly calling for major tops before then. To be honest, this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. This is a huge wave 3, cleanly subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. We have a wave 4 that ends between the 23.6 and the 38.2% retracement. I believe this is a wave 5 in progress. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low will take Nvidia on a wave 5 that will ultimately end at 303. And I had that happening by the end of the summer of 2022. Being the time target, that looks like that's going to be way too conservative, right? So, again, if this is all wave 1 of wave 5, then we're going to have a shallow wave 2 of wave 5 when this finally ends. And we're going to look to buy wave 3, 4, and 5 of wave 5, right? And that ultimately looks like it's going to line up nicely with Nvidia going the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. So I think, most people's instinct when we have a huge up week like this is, what's the next tiny corrective wave on the smallest degree, right, that I should freak out about? I think that the message right now is that, whoa, we got a lot of evidence that Nvidia is going to 300, SPY is going to 500, and Microsoft is probably going past 350. That means that the Nasdaq is going to at least 416, and that there's going to be some music playing during that time if you know where to find it. This is a wave 1 and a wave 2. This is wave 3 and wave 4. The bigger degree count is the more important count. And that says that a wave 5 is in progress. There'll be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. And probably before the summer of 2022, Nvidia is going to be in the lower 300s for waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the upside. So hopefully we'll get a correction at 303. Right, here's AMD, right? It almost gets lost in the the news, right? Because we have so many breakouts. But yeah, AMD broke the wave 3 high. So the most conservative view of AMD is the one we'll stick to in this video, that this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. This is a wave 3 and a wave 4 that ended at the 50% retracement. The AMD and SPY, most of the early wave community was looking for more downside that didn't happen, but it's always, there's going to be a big move to the upside, but, there's going to be a marginal new low first, So don't get mad at me if it goes down. But anyway, AMD's within a wave 5. It's going to be at least the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. It's going to go all the way to 138, and so that's pretty conservative. That this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse. So it's looking good. It's going to reach my 136 target by March pretty conservatively. And so that's looking good. Here's the S&P 500, right? It didn't dip to 420, but this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse that completes a wave 1 from the low, right? So what have we been saying for a year? I mean, really, just ask yourself in your head, what have I been saying for a year? That's a wave 1. So the length of wave 1 placed where? At the wave 2 low was going to give what? The wave 3 minimum target. And where is that going to be? 460. And where is SPY now? 459.61. Okay? So some people think LA wave theory is silly, right? I think shorting the stock market for a year during a historically fast rally is silly. But, we all have our different priorities. This is the wave 1 and a wave 2. We're within a huge wave 3. That's going to be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. So 460 was the minimum, wave 3 target. And I've been telling you guys that when I'm wrong, usually, not always, but usually, it's because my price target was too conservative, right? So it looks like that's happening right now. Wave 3 is going to go past 460. This is wave 1 of wave 3 and wave 2 of wave 3. This is wave 3 of wave 3 and wave 4 of wave 3. And there's a lot of evidence right now that wave 5 of wave 3 will be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. And that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. We'd end wave 3, have a shallow wave 4 correction, and still be looking to go higher. So it's very similar to Apple, where, the same way that Apple's wave 5 kind of takes it above 170, that might line up with SPY going the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low and going on a wave 5 higher to, close to 500. So SPY looks really good. All of a sudden 500, isn't so crazy anymore. So it's looking good. Here is the airline ETF Jets. I want to start by looking at the let's just look at the count first. It's a wave 1 and a wave 2. Conservatively, this is the wave 3 and the ABC correction that ended wave 4 between the 50% and the 61.8% retracement. So, really no matter how you count it, you want to see 18 to 20 not get broken. And if those are holding, then we're going to go on another impulse higher. For a wave 5 would be the length of wave 1 or the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. So if it's the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low, that takes it to 31. If it's the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low, that takes it to 34. So that's the wave 5 target zone is 31 to 34, and we'll talk about this in a second, but when this gets moving, it's going to be pretty quick. I think this is going to happen towards the end of the year, very early into the first quarter. That was around the time we saw that rally last year. We'll talk about the options market in a second. But if the airline ETF JETS goes past 34, we'll have to talk about the kind of more aggressive count. And I think right now, talking about the aggressive count is going to seem silly because sentiment for this sector is very low. But we do have to talk about the more aggressive count. And if we go past 34, that's probably going to be the more accurate count. That this is a 1-2-1-2 LA wave nest. If we go past 34, we're not within wave 5. We're within wave 3 of wave 3, and it's going to be kind of that long-term generational breakout. And either way, you're looking for 20 to 18 to not get broken. You're looking for, another impulse to the upside. Here's why I think it's going to happen pretty quick. You can go to IV ranking percentile on bar chart, and what you can do is you can go to IV percentile and you can kind of sort by the lowest implied volatility. So low implied volatility does not guarantee a stock's going to move to the upside. Sometimes it can mean the opposite, actually. But what it usually kind of really supports is the idea that options are very cheap, and that the demand for options is going to hit a trough, and that this is kind of going to create a large move. And it's your job as a technical analyst to decide, will that move be to the upside or the downside? And I can promise you, if you start looking at implied volatility ranking percentile for, individual stocks and ETFs, and you notice the whole sector has low IV, I promise you're going to start seeing that these sectors have huge moves, okay? And once again, they're not always to the upside. But what I want to point out, right now, United Airlines, 0% implied volatility ranking percentile, all right? Cheapest options. There's a ton of oil stocks on this, but American Airlines as well. Very bottom of its 1-year range, Delta Airlines and Spirit Airlines, right? So all these airlines are at the very bottom of their 1-year range. A lot of oil stocks as well. What I'm trying to say is that retail's fallen asleep on this sector, and the options market says it's about to have a huge move. I think the wave theory says that's going to be to the upside, and it also supports the idea that, this could happen quickly. So there's more I like in the reopening sector. We'll talk about Boeing right now. Boeing, it hasn't broken this small degree wave 2 low yet. So right now, as long as we're above 191, my belief is that this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. This is another wave 1 and another wave 2. So if we're above 191, the wave 3 target is 307 with a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. There'll be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low, and that would take Boeing, all the way to 365 for waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then that would complete a large degree wave 3. If we went below 191, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So the biggest invalidation level for Boeing is all the way down at 141, okay? As long as Boeing's above that, this is a wave 1 and a wave 2, and really, most likely, this is going to be counted as a nest where this is either another wave 1 and another wave 2, or if we break below 191, right, that's another wave 1 and another wave 2. So the 78.6% retracement of this rally, if we call this a wave 1, is 170. That would be a deeper invalidation level. I don't think we're going to get to that point, but I think right now if we're above 191, maybe a little lower would be 170. This is another wave 1 and another wave 2. It really lines up with the idea we're seeing from the airline ETF that the next time the oil stocks all kind of thrust up together, they're not going to leave the airlines behind this time. I think normally you see the oil stocks lead the airlines. I think this time we're going to see that the airlines are actually outperforming, the next time the industrials and the materials sector takes another leg higher. So I like the JETS ETF. I like Boeing too. Draftkings is a reopening stock. It's an ABC correction, a wave 1 and an ABC correction, putting in a wave 2. This is another wave 1 and another wave 2. They ended at the 78.6% retracement. I can see this sector getting explosive. This is a wave 1 and a wave 2. So the minimum, right, we're not even using the right extension, to be honest, but the minimum wave 3 target is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. That's going to take DraftKings all the way up to 67. So it's all about risk reward, and there's pretty great risk reward right now. If we're above 42 to 39, we can enter wave 3 of wave 3. That's going to take DraftKings to 67 in the next couple of months before a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. Ultimately, waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we hold above 39 to 42, should take DraftKings up to 86, 85 in the first half of 2022. It's yet to be seen if DraftKings will rally with the rest of the reopening stocks or with the growth stocks. I think it's going to do both, to be honest. So here is Disney. Disney is very similar to Boeing, I feel like. And the longer that it's kind of just sideways, the more you kind of have to wonder if something bigger is going to happen. So right now, I still think it's too early to talk about more bullish counts So we'll stick with the most conservative view. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 waves impulse. So we're going to have a wave 5 that's at least the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. That's going to take Disney to at least 216. So if Disney goes past 216, there's a variety of options that would be a lot more aggressive. One would be that wave 5 is going to be the length of wave 3, placed at the wave 4 low. So if Disney goes past 216, I think one should be prepared for the idea that wave 5 won't be the length of wave 1. It'll be the length of wave 3, placed at the wave 4 low. That would take Disney, as crazy as it sounds, into the 260s, right? If this was wave 3 and wave 4, if we go past 216, then wave 5 probably isn't the length of wave 1. It could be the length of wave 3, okay? Another option, right? If we don't, go higher immediately, if we keep going down a little further, I would say if we go kind of lower than we are right now, what this could be is that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. So the primary expectation is that Disney's going to hold above 155 to 166, 167, and go on a wave 5 higher very shortly, with the rest of the reopening sector to at least 216, potentially beyond 216. Okay, since Disney's really close to this low, I think it's important to prepare for the idea that this could be a wave 1, and any lower in Disney would be the generational buying opportunity that we were talking about, where this could be all wave 1. And so if Disney goes any lower, certainly if it went below 155, the only way to count this is that this was A, B, C, and then this is the generational kind of wave 2 low that we were talking about. All right. It's kind of yet to be seen. If Disney goes below 155, that would be the only way to count Disney. Until it does, and I don't think it will, I think we have to be safe and say that this is still a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse in progress, and that this ABC correction ended a wave 4 at 166. We're going to expect a wave 5 higher that's going to be at least the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. So I think that's an ABC correction. We ended wave 4. We'll get a reversal from Disney with the airlines, with the Jets ETF, and go on a wave 5 that's at least the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. And in the next couple of months, possibly by the end of the year, we'll see Disney at least 216. So that's Disney. If it's above 155, I select the idea of a wave 5 to 216. Let's talk about the solar ETF. We probably should have started the video with this, but Tesla, First Solar, Enphase Energy, right? I mean, this has to be extremely important. We're going to talk about First Solar right now, because what we've done is something that we've been talking about for a while. We've broken above this wave 1 high. So let's just talk about the full count for First Solar. Let's just ignore all this. From this low, this is most likely a wave 1 and an ABC correction putting in a wave 2. This is another wave 1 and another ABC correction putting in another wave 2. This is another wave 1 and another wave 2 in red. This is another wave 1 and another wave 2 in the very small numbers. So the very first wave 3 target is the 161.8% extension of this kind of short-term rally that we had, which was from September of 2020 to January of 2021. Okay, that very first wave 3 target is 140 in the extremely short term. I think it's more important to talk about the bigger degree picture. The most kind of conservative view of First Solar is really a silly one, but it's that this is a wave A or a wave 1. So this is a wave 2 or a wave B in the, kind of all-time count. It's a really silly thing to say that this is a wave 2 or a wave B correction, because this is clearly an impulse. The reason that I want to include it is because it shows that even in the very most conservative, even the most bearish view of First Solar, we should get to at least the 61.8% retracement of this all-time sell-off. And that means that, in my opinion, First Solar is kind of incomplete until it reaches 164 to 200. Okay, we got a massive breakout that really helps to confirm that. So that's huge if you're a Tesla bull. It's huge if you're a market bull. All this evidence, right? So Tesla's all-time count, and let me be honest, we're getting ready to remove this 3 and this 4, because this is really looking like a nest. This is really looking like another wave 1 and another wave 2 And we're within wave 3 of wave 3, and we have to talk about, some of Cathie Wood's price targets. Okay, we don't need to do that yet. For now, we'll continue to talk about what we know. What we know is that in the most conservative view, Tesla is within a wave 5 that will be at least the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. That's going to take Tesla to at least 1,368. And that was going to happen conservatively by March. That is all looking very good. That is going to at least play out. In the shorter term, this is a wave 1 and a wave 2 most likely from this low. And this is the wave 3 that exploded past the 161.8% extension of wave 1. So this is why I said wave 4, gaming this wave 4 would be a fool's errand. And it was, okay? Gaming this wave 4 is a fool's errand. But even if there is a wave 4 correction, right, there's another I call it the top moment. We're still going to be looking for a wave 5 that's probably not going to be the length of this wave 1. It's probably going to be the length of this wave 3 placed at this wave 4 low. And that means that Tesla's not going to stop. Yeah, it's not going to stop at 1368. So, I think the message right now is that most people, right, they're going to be looking for the scary wave 2 or wave 4 correction, on some chart that, they see. I think it's more important to talk about the evidence that you got this week if you're a bull. And that's that Tesla is not stopping at 1368. That's not a wave 3. That's not a wave 4. That's another wave 1. That's another wave 2. And let me tell you, once we're past 1368, the next price target is a Cathie Wood price target. Okay? Because that means that this is not a wave 5 in progress. It's a wave 3. And the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, is conservatively going to take Tesla to 1368. If we go past that, that's going to be the minimum wave 3. We'll have a shallow wave 4 correction and go on a wave 5 higher. That's why I said it'd be a fool's errand to game that wave 4. But I think it's important to know that even if we do get a shallow wave 4 correction, then we kind of already know it's going to be a buy for wave 5. Wouldn't hold out for it, wouldn't sell my house for it. In my unprofessional and unlicensed opinion, you can't count this as a wave 5. You're literally making new highs on the RSI. I mean, this is a huge wave 3, right? And if you look at the pitchfork right now, Tesla's at the median of this pitchfork. What I've seen before is that something ridiculous will happen. Well, Tesla will go all the way to the upper bound of this pitchfork. Okay, so that could certainly happen. That's not really my primary expectation right now, but Tesla could go all the way to the upper bound of this pitchfork in one move. It could certainly do that. That's why I wouldn't short this. But if you're a shareholder, a hypothetical shareholder who doesn't exist, I think mentally you have to be prepared for everyone to call the top, all the gurus who said Tesla is never going to go above 900, right? I'm Michael Berry. They're all going to call the top again, and it's just going to be the world's most obvious bear trap. You'll probably see the RSI do something like this. We'll go down a little bit, and then we'll look for a wave 5 to make momentum divergence. It'll be something like that. So 1, 2, possibly a 3 and a 4. Remember, it's a fool's errand to game this wave 4. It's probably a fool's errand to sell shares for this wave 4, to be completely honest. And that's definitely not investment advice, but this is a 1, 2, 3 and a shallow wave 4. So let's just talk about wave 5 targets. It's not looking like wave 5 will be the length of wave 1. It's probably looking like wave 5 will be the length of wave 3. A place at the wave 4 low, which will probably go no lower than the lower bound of the pitchfork. And wave 5 is going to go way past 1368 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves from this low. That means we're not in a large wave 5. We're within wave 3 of a larger wave 3. And you're going to have to Google some of Cathie's price targets if you really want to know the truth about Tesla from there. So remember, Tesla, don't just fall in love. I get it. Elon Musk is a funny guy, okay? But it's not just Tesla in the clean energy sector. And we've never talked about just Tesla. We talked about Apple in the January 25th high from day one. We've talked about First Solar, Next Air Energy, and the Solar ETF TAN forming the January 25th high from day one as well. And you just broke it for the Enphase Energy. This is the number one holding of 99% of clean energy ETFs. And you just exploded above the February high, right? And as a Tesla bull, you can't get into this retail mindset of, oh, that's my competition. No, that's your ETF buddy, okay? Elon's going to be throwing money at Enphase Energy. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, and this is an ABC correction wave 2. We're past almost the minimum wave 3 target. And that was the conservative wave 3 target of 240. Minimally, you're expecting a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher, and you're going to look silly calling tops in Tesla, clean energy, and the rest of the stock market before Enphase Energy reaches 311. And that lines up with First Solar exploding, Tesla exploding. I mean, and a plethora of clean energy stocks exploding. So this is the solar ETF TAN. What we're going to do now is talk about the big picture. The big picture for the solar ETF TAN, and this is something that I think everyone has to keep in the back of their mind. Stock market bulls, stock market bears, Tesla fanboys, Elon haters. This is the solar ETF TAN. And I'll tell you right now, this is identical to the ARK ETF chart of a 1, 2, 3, wave 4. And yes, this could be another wave 1 and another wave 2. But in the most conservative view of the TAN ETF, which is identical to the ARK ETF, this is the wave 1 and a wave 2. This is the wave 3 and a wave 4. So we're within a wave 5 right now. If we hold the wave 4 low, wave 5 will be at least the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. I mean, we could see the solar ETF in the bigger picture potentially go as high as 170. And it's only at 100 right now. And that lines up with Enphase Energy. It lines up with First Solar. And it lines up with Tesla too. In the short term, right? To be honest, if I was a Tesla bull, an Enphase Energy bull, a First Solar bull, I'd just be looking at the solar ETF TAN chart. This is an ABC correction. This is the wave 1 and an ABC correction putting in a wave 2 low. Even in the short term, you've got a lot of confirmation that this is the wave 3 that's going to take the solar ETF to 109 before a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. The textbook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will take this ETF to 125. It's only at 100. And in the bigger picture, it could be going to 170. We'll talk about the ARK chart in a second, but this is the ratio chart. We've actually had this chart out for a while, but I literally did a wave count of the TAN to SPY ratio. And this is playing out that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse on the TAN to SPY ratio. This measures the relative performance of solar stocks compared to the market. So we're outperforming the market for a year. And we had a period of underperformance that ended at the 61.8% retracement. So we said that's wave 1 and wave 2. If we hold that low on the relative strength chart, we're going to go into a huge wave 3, 4, and 5 to the upside. And it looks like that's playing out. So not only, is the solar ETF TAN and Enphase Energy and Tesla and First Solar, not only are they going to go up in terms of US dollars, they're going to go up in the sense that they're going to outperform the stock market. And when the stock market is green, we can objectively expect that, the solar stocks in general are going to be up more. And when it's red, we're probably going to expect that they're going to be holding up the best too. So, we got a lot of evidence in the long term that we were correct, that the clean energy sector was putting in a huge low. And I think that means we were correct that the entire growth sector, right, ARK, was putting in an important wave 4 low in kind of the bigger picture, right? This is the ARK chart. It's identical to the solar ETF chart. That this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. This is a huge wave 3 and a wave 4. So if we hold this wave 4 low, then we're within a wave 5. That's going to be the length of wave 3, placed at the wave 4 low. And we could see, while the solar ETF TAN is going to 170 potentially in 2022, that the ARK ETF goes the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low, and it replicates its 2020 rally and goes on a wave 5 higher to 225. And I think that's the main for Tesla bulls to think about in the bigger picture. And even in the short picture, this is a great chart. It's an ABC correction. It's a wave 1 and another ABC correction putting in wave 2. If we keep holding this wave 2 low, the wave 3 target is 154. And that's pretty conservative for Tesla bulls to hold out for. And it's pretty reasonable given that Tesla is a 10% holding of ARK, that this is going to be wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low says all 5 of these waves in the short term could take ARK to, above 175, close to 180. you know, and I'm expecting that in the first half of 2022, especially if that wave 2 low holds. So ARK's looking good. Here's NEO. I mean, I think NEO is looking really good. Given everything that we talked about, it actually kind of reminds me of Draftkings, the count, but this is an ABC correction. I think this is a wave 1 and an ABC correction putting in a wave 2 low. You know, if we looked at the XPEV chart, the Enphase energy chart, they already broke above this wave 1 high. And it's really the exact same from this May 13th low, right? Every single stock, wave 1, ABC wave 2 at the 78.6% retracement. So we got a little closer low to trade against now. If we're above 30 to 33, then we're within a wave 3 that's going to go all the way to the 161.8% extension of wave 1 before a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. So for NEO, XPEV, and Li Auto, they're all Chinese EV and they're all the exact same chart. And XPEV is already above this same relative wave 1 high. So this is wave 1, ABC wave 2, while Li Auto is going to 49, while XPEV, you know, is going to around 62. I think NEO is going to go to 70 with a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. So I like, you know, the risk reward. I love that Tesla has already broken above the January high. You know, I love that solar stocks like First Solar and Enphase Energy are breaking out, you know, above their first quarter of 2020 highs. I think NEO is going to be next. It's going to break the January high, go to 70, have a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher to 85, you know, in the first half, the first part of 2022. I'm really expecting a wave 3 to be explosive in the short term that takes NEO to 70, and that's going to happen while XPEV is doing its breakout to the wave 3 target, which is also the 161.8% extension that would take XPEV to 63. So I think this is a wave 1 and an ABC correction putting in wave 2. This is another wave 1 and an ABC putting in another wave 2, right? So this is the risk reward of growth stocks. Yes, there are stocks like Lordstown Motors and Ebon. They break that wave 2 low. You know, they invalidate the count. You know, and you're underwater in a growth stock position that I took a half position in, right? But there's also times where you don't break the wave 2 low and you're within a monster. And XPEV is one of the monsters. And Fastly could be one of the monsters, but we've got a lot of proof right now that we were correct. XPEV and Li Auto were in IPO bases. And that's wave 1 and ABC wave 2. This is wave 1 and ABC wave 2. This could be something like a Square Cash or Shopify or a PayPal, you know, early in their years. And that's what growth stock investing can do. This is a wave 1 and an ABC wave 2. If we were really correct that that was the wave 2 low and this is another wave 1 and another wave 2, then this is the lottery. If we break this wave 1 high, we confirm over a year of basing from the IPO. And that's huge. That means that this is a long-term winner, you know, and we're in very early in its life cycle. So, you know, what's important in the short term is from this 513 low, right? The exact same 513 low as NEO. It's probably the exact same wave 1 high, I would imagine. This is a wave 1 and an ABC wave 2 that ended at the 50 to 61.8% retracement. And then XPEV broke the wave 1 high, so it's within a wave 3 to 63 before a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. Waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, possibly in the first half of 2022, will take XPEV to 82. More importantly, for the long term, that means that, you know, we went fishing and caught a whale, you know, and we're up 350, 400% in less than a year. But more importantly, we're in something that is honestly, you know, possibly one of those growth stocks like Roku, you know, or Nvidia even early in their days, right? So what would that mean for Li Auto? You know, what would that mean for a lot of clean energy stocks we talk about, like Acromoto, right? It wouldn't just be Chinese EV. I think it'd be American EV too. This looks really good. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, an ABC wave 2 that ended at the 78.6% retracement. I think it's within a wave 3. There'll be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. That's going to take Acromoto to 43 for the large degree wave 3. I think this is looking good. That from this low, we had a small wave 1 and wave 2. We're entering wave 3 of wave 3. We're going to see Acromoto go to 25, have a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. This is another one I'm looking for, you know, a multi-month, multi-quarter wave 3 breakout. And we're starting to see this in the smaller cap clean energy space, you know, very quietly. Fuel Cell, you know, is getting to 8. Plug Power is getting close to 40. I think Acromoto's is going to be one where this is 1, 2, and this is another 1, 2. So we're within wave 3 of wave 3. Waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should take Acromoto above this wave 1 high early into 2022. And this is going to be another one potentially like XPEV where, yeah, it's great being up, you know, 300, 400% potentially, but it's also like, oh, this could be Shopify. right? If we're above this wave one high. And XPEV is getting close to this wave one high. And the more and more electric vehicles that break above these wave one highs, the more you're going to start to think that big tech in the 2000s and, electric vehicles, clean energy stocks could have a lot more in common, than we think. For now, if Acromoto is above this wave 2 low on the larger degree of 7.32, it's within a wave 3 on the bigger picture that's going to take it to 43, probably in the first half of 2022. And the smaller degree, the shorter term count says we're going to go to 25, possibly this quarter, most likely in the first quarter, before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. Acromoto, it's starting to look a lot like XPEV. A lot of these, kind of clean energy stocks like XPEV that IPO'd recently, are starting to look very good. So that's one place to focus on. We had a new quarter. Now we know clean energy, we were correct, is going to show leadership. Here is Plug Power. It forms a wave 1, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse is the subdivision. Now we have an ABC correction. We ended wave 2 at the 78.6% retracement. This had dumpster fire implied volatility, for 5 or 6 months. It was all over the bar chart, straddle and strangle screener, just like Tesla, starting to move right now, right? I want to say if we turn on the Ichimoku cloud, certainly on the daily, we're kind of getting an objective reading. This could be a big breakout, so I really like using the Ichimoku cloud breakouts to help confirm, these big wave 2 corrections, because this is an objective reading. When you have an Ichimoku cloud breakout like this, on the daily chart, just look at what happened the last time, right? The last time that Plug Power had an Ichimoku cloud breakout was in June of 2020. It went from less than 5 to 75. Okay, this is the most recent Ichimoku cloud breakout since then. And the charts are kind of saying that it could be just as explosive, if not more, if this is all a wave 1 and a wave 2 that ended at the 78.6% retracement within a huge wave 3 that could take Plug Power to 90. And that's another thing for Tesla bulls to think about, is that, wait a minute, what if the small cap clean energy starts to run, right? You probably don't want to be selling Tesla and then see that NIO's up 7%, and I think Plug Power is going to be another one that could be going to 90, in the bigger picture, possibly in the first half of 2022, and from this low, I think this is the wave 1 and a wave 2. And if we go past 46, we'll have confirmed that this is an impulse structure from this low. And this is in fact a new bullish cycle. And Plug Power, it's not going to be in a straight line, but it'll be going to 90 for that wave 3 target. Let's talk about some software. TWLO got beat down, but it didn't break this wave too low yet. So I want to talk about kind of the full count. The full count for TWLO is that this is a wave 1, an ABC wave 2, and this is another wave 1 and another ABC correction, putting in another wave 2, right? We go over all the time from the May 13th low, right? Just how many stocks, in the growth sector have exploded, right? Especially, in the software sector. That doesn't guarantee anything, but the wave count for TWLO says that this is not going to be a wave 3 that the average investor wants to miss. And that's kind of why they're making it very difficult. So we'll talk about some invalidation levels right now. On the smallest degree, there's the idea that this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. So if we're above this wave 1 low of 275, we're going to be within wave 3 that will take TWLO to around 500 before a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher. Even if we go below 275, which I'm not expecting, but when we get close, you kind of just have to talk about it. If we did go below 275, the bigger picture is that this is a wave 1 and wave 2 in red. So the 78.6% retracement to the 61.8% retracement is about 267 to 308, which is right around 275 anyway. So we really want to be trading about 267, 275. If we are, there's a good chance this is a wave 3 of a larger degree, wave 3, and we'll see pretty soon, why they're trying to make this breakout, so difficult. The minimum wave 3 target would be 500 before a shallow wave 4 correction and a wave 5 higher into the 600s in 2022, probably the first half of 2022. So TWLO, I expect some fireworks. Palantir, I'm really starting to expect some fireworks. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, an ABC correction wave 2. The options market is saying that Palantir is going to have a big move. Doesn't guarantee it's going to be to the upside, but, for those who believe in seasonality, it was looking really good for Palantir around this time last year. It was a monster, run. It only took a couple of months, and now the wave theory is saying we should be expecting a monster run that might only take a couple of months. So I think this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. I think this is another wave 1 and another wave 2. So in the short term, we want to be above 20.55. And if we are, we're within a blue wave 3, and I think this blue wave 3 is going to end at the median of this Andrews pitchfork, which we can see right now is going to take Palantir, into the mid 30s, the lower 40s. So wave 1, wave 2, we're within wave 3 right now. We're above 20.55. I think we're going to go to the median of the pitchfork that's found by connecting the beginning of wave 1 with a high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2. We'll have a blue wave 3 at the median. We'll have a shallow wave 4 off the lower bound and go on a wave 5 higher. Ultimately, waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should conservatively take Palantir to 42. Most likely it's going to take Palantir even past this wave 1 high on the larger degree, and then it's kind of similar to XPEV, potentially. If you break the IPO high, you really kind of know you might have caught a monster, right? And that doesn't guarantee anything. Palantir could go below 20.55. It could go below 17.05, which is the large degree wave 2 invalidation. That's certainly a possibility. But just like XPEV, there's also the possibility we break the IPO high, and this has been being accumulated early in its life cycle by large institutions for over a year. I'm going to go with that option, to be honest. That's a pretty safe claim to make if we're above 20.55. So that's Palantir. Here's Fastly. I think Fastly, at the very least, we have a low to trade against. It's starting to look good. I don't want to be that guy who draws a trend line, but I think that's where we're going right now. And if we break this trend line, that's going to be a lot of evidence we did, in fact, put in wave 2. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, huge wave 1. And the ABC correction that's ending wave 2, the length of wave A, place of the wave B high, is where wave C ended. So we're within a wave 3. It's going to be at least the length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low. That will take Fastly to 160 in the longer term cycle. So Fastly is a very long-term idea. I think it deserves that. And if it's above 33, the long-term ideas are ridiculous. They sound ridiculous, but they're not going to be ridiculous. Very slowly, XPEV going to 80, doesn't sound so wild. I think very slowly, Fastly, going to challenge this high of 136 isn't going to be so crazy anymore. If this is a wave 1 and a wave 2, just like Palantir, possibly just like XPEV, could be a year into institutional accumulation for a stock very early into its life cycle. So above 33, the wave 3, 4, and 5 target is going to involve some stock splits. So I think it looks really good for Fastly. Bitcoin right now, we'll talk about the big picture of Bitcoin. Really, there's not too much to update. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1 that we put in on the all-time chart. This one guy disagreed with me that this was the wrong subdivision. He said it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He thought it was 1, 2, and then wave 3 ended right here, and we put in a wave 4, so that was a wave 5. It's important to know what makes a difference and what doesn't. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that ends up here, it doesn't really matter. If you believe that this is a wave 1, that's all that really counts, because that means this is a wave 2, and we're within a wave 3 that will be at least the length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low. Now Bitcoin's broken this high, right? So it's really confirmed. Don't forget the debate. We were just having a debate a couple months ago. Are large institutions buying the crap out of Bitcoin, or are they distributing it and we're going to go below, 20,000? I think we've really kind of proven the debate. That was institutional accumulation, all summer. And so, the big boys have plans for this that involve 6 figures. The length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low is going to take Bitcoin to 90,000 conservatively before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. I really wanted to talk about, Riot Blockchain, Ripple, and Ethereum. Ethereum is a really pretty picture of what crypto looks like. This is the wave 1 and the ABC wave 2 for Riot Blockchain. The length of wave A, place of the wave B high is where wave C ended. So we're within a huge wave 3. That's going to take Riot all the way to 98. That sounds crazy, but remember, Marathon Patent Group going to 75 sounded crazy a couple months ago. I think Riot Blockchain is going to follow Marathon Patent Group. I think this is the wave 1 and a wave 2. And in the very least, we're going to go back to the lower bound of the pitchfork. I think we're going to see Riot Blockchain in the 60s, kind of towards January, to be honest. But I think in the bigger picture, ultimately, this is a wave 1 and an ABC wave 2. The length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low, says, as wild as it sounds, that Riot Blockchain is about to do what Marathon Patent did recently, potentially go to the median of the pitchfork, potentially head into the 90s, even for that large degree wave 3 target. So remember, that sounds as crazy as Marathon Patent Group going to 75 did, a couple of months ago. But I really think that that's going to be the exact same result for Riot Blockchain. It's going to 98. Ripple, wave 1, ABC wave 2, the length of wave, the beginning of wave 1, connected with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, makes a gorgeous Andrews pitchfork. Very pretty reaction on the median. very pretty reactions on the lower bound. I think we're going to the median ultimately for this large degree wave 3 target. This large degree wave 3 is subdivided into wave 1 of wave 3 and wave 2 of wave 3. We're going to hold above this wave 2 low of about 51 cents and go into wave 3 of wave 3. That's going to take, Ripple towards this wave 1 high. We're going to be talking about Ripple, in the $3-4 range pretty soon. I think this is going to be very explosive. I love Ripple. I liked it a lot better at 20 cents, but, even at $1, it's extremely volatile. But if it holds above 51 cents, I think it's got a lot of good probability of going to $3, $4, $5 even in 2022, possibly even higher. To be completely honest, let's talk about Ethereum right now. Ethereum is a pretty picture of crypto in the short term. Just from this low, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse to complete the wave 1. We have an ABC correction that ends wave 2, where the length of wave A places the wave B high is where wave C ends. So Ethereum's within a wave 3. That's going to be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. Ethereum will go to about 5,000, honestly, before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. The length of wave 1 places what would be the wave 4 correction, even in the most conservative view. It says probably in the first quarter, we'll see Ethereum near 6,700. Pretty safe to call everything a bear trap until then.